Are you ready to grow brand awareness, leads, and authority online? Well, keep listening. I'm Ashleigh, host of the Market Your Service podcast. I'm sharing tried and true methods and emerging trends that will help your business level up. So let's get it. Hey, it's Ashleigh, and in this video, we are going to go over what you need to have amazing images for your website. And be sure to pay attention at the end where you can learn how to get access to a free shot list for your future photo shoot. All right, let's get into it. When you are doing a rebrand of any kind, so it could be you're just, getting your branding logo colors refreshed, or you're doing a whole website redesign and you just want to have everything have a fresh, more refined look that's maybe more aligned with where your business is at and where you're going. There's a few things that you need when it comes to imagery, because I know we talked about messaging in a prior episode. Feel free to check out the messaging episode with Kiara. But the next step is the images, because while there's magic in messaging, we want to make sure that the images have a little sprinkle magic on there too. You know what I'm saying? So with that, let's get into what is needed for your website's images. So first things first is when you're choosing your photographer, make sure that you choose a photographer that you like their style, you like how their finished work looks, because every photographer has their own little style of how they photograph, the color filters they use, if they're using really bright pops of color or if they have a more subdued appearance with all their photos. You don't want to just pick someone because they happen to be in your budget or they happen to be your neighbor's best friends, whomever. Pick someone that has images that you love, someone who does portrait photography or has experience doing website photography or marketing photography for that matter. And also make sure that the vibe is right, because you don't want to go into a photography session with someone who makes your energy feel anxious or off, or, you want to be calm and you want to be working with someone who's going to make you feel calm. So what I would do, if you can, is have coffee with the person and just kind of get a vibe check before you sign on anything to do work with that person, and just get a sense of what type of vibe they do have. And if you're able to talk with anybody who's worked with them in the past, talk with those folks and say, hey, what was your experience like with this person? What was the process like? Because you want to make sure that you feel calm and in your natural element when you're taking photos. If you're not, it's going to come across in the photos and you're going to look uneasy and uptight. And that is a subliminal message that people will definitely pick up on. In some cases, they won't even understand what they're picking up on. They'll just be like, something feels off about this, and they just won't know what it is. And it's because the energy of anxiety that you're feeling because you're sweating and you're trying to get this angle right. And you're like, oh, do I look fat? Do I have something in my teeth? And you're so worried about it. If your photographer can bring you to a sense of calm so you can drop into your body and drop into your element, your photos are going to be amazing. So pick the right photographer. That's the first thing. Second thing is to have a very clear shot list. So I'm going to have a shot list for you to download. I'll put the link in the description for you, but we're going to go through some of the key images that are needed in that shot list. And it would be great to go to your photographer with this list so they can kind of have a framework to branch off of, and also allow them to have some creative license. Because again, they are the creative in this sense. They are the photographer. And so while you want to have a certain type of shot for a particular web page, or you want to utilize that shot in a different way because you're, what have you, say, okay, I want to get these shots, but also please, use your creative license, do what you think would help elevate these basic shots that I have in my shot list, and make sure that there's an open communication there. And really good photographers aren't going to be bothered or feel threatened by that. So if you're working with someone and they feel threatened that you brought a shot list, that might be a red flag. The first round or framework image that we're going to discuss is the hero image. So typically when you first land on a website, you have, an image or some sort of textured background or some kind of focal point that is a very wide angle shot. It would be great to have a variety of wide angle shots to be used in that particular context. Sometimes these images are nondescript. Sometimes they do have you as a subject. Please don't have them all be super centered, because if you're going to be using it on a website, you want to not have people, directly in the center, unless there's space on either side for you to put text or something like that. If there isn't, then people's faces are going to be covered with text. And so I like to say have one where the focal point is off to the side, one that's nondescript, and one that if you want to have that centered sort of vibe, we can do it. It probably isn't going to function as a good hero image, but it might work well as an accent, which we'll talk about later in this video. Second realm or genre of photos, genre is not the right word, but help me out. What's the better word for that? I can't think of it right now. Is action. So I work with service providers and nonprofit organizations, and sometimes programming and service-based businesses are able to communicate action with the images. So if you are a speaker, if you are a coach, if you are a consultant, if you do taxes, if there's an opportunity for you to communicate action where you're actually doing the work. I have some photos that I took recently where I was sketching out wireframes, and I just said, well, I'm going to work on these wireframes and just have my photographer take some pictures of me, because then I'm in my element, I'm creating, I'm in my process. And then we have an opportunity to communicate that with someone who probably has never met me if they just land on my website. Being able to communicate action, that will also help to share with the user, okay, this is what we're doing in the background when we're working on your project, or this is what we're doing in this program when we're supporting the folks who enroll in the program. Like, for example, if you have a nonprofit organization, it's an after school program. In that case, you probably don't want to have pictures of the actual kids in the program, and that's fine. There's creative ways you can do things. You could use stock for that. But you want to have some sort of action that communicates, here's what we're doing for you, or here's the transformation that you'll get. So those are two that I'd say go with action. Next thing is headshot. Really close cropped images. These work really well on about pages or in about sections for websites, because we want to be able to connect with the person, because people do business with people. Remember, we don't do business with businesses. And so allow people the opportunity to see your face. I know there are some businesses out there that they're like, oh, I don't want to show my face. I don't want it to be about me. Okay, that's fine. It doesn't have to be about you. But we do want to have some kind of personification there. So if it's not you, it's not your face, maybe it's about the company. But I will say that people typically will engage if they see more of human faces and it has that human element to it. So keep that in mind if you have a business, and especially if you're just starting out and you're trying to build relationships with people. It's a great thing when you walk into a room and somebody's like, oh, your face is so familiar. Oh, I've seen you on LinkedIn, or I've seen you on Instagram or YouTube, or, oh, I visited your website. And then they know what you look like. And sometimes people will walk up to you because, oh, I've looked at your blog, or I've looked at your content and it's so great. I love it. And that's because you had photos of yourself out there and you're creating content where you're connecting with the person, not necessarily just being business to business, but like people to people. So those clear cropped headshots are going to be great. So make sure you have a variety of those. Also, one thing I'll say about headshots, and anything that has you as a business owner or any people on your team, anything like that, see if you can do a couple outfit changes. And an outfit change doesn't have to be to the nines, top to bottom. It could be changing your jacket, changing your top, changing your lipstick for anyone who wears lipstick. I do that a lot. Sometimes I'll go and I'll put like a base layer on and like a dark denim or a black pant. And then I'll just be able to mix up the tops to change up the outfit really quickly so that I'm not eating up my photography time by changing outfits and like doing a totally different face of makeup. But it allows me to have some variety, because we also, even though you may be shooting in one day, we don't want to have it so all of your photos look like they were shot in one day. In order to create that variety, even though you're doing all the shoots in one time, you want to have different props, have a couple different outfits, like bring 3 different things to change up 3 different looks. Or if you have enough time, do 5 different looks. Typically with a 2-hour shoot, I'll do like 3 different looks. And one of them is like a jacket. So it's like jacket on and jacket off, just to keep things simple. Do subtle things. Like you could change your earrings or change your jewelry, your accessories if you want, just to give it a slightly different look. And also different angles is important. I know a lot of times we do headshots where we're looking straight into the camera, and that's a great shot to have, but try something looking off camera, or, you're having an aside conversation, like something like this. I like those a lot, especially on a website. If there's text on one side and image on the other, and you're looking where the text is on the website, it's going to make people's eyes, because people search for faces, right? When they're scanning websites, they search for faces, they search for headlines, and you're going to look at your face and then they're going to go, oh, there's the headline. And then they're going to read the information. So it helps you to guide people to the direction that you want them to go on your website, which is all enhancing the user experience. Background. So background images are nondescript texture-based images that sort of, you get to a section on the site and you get a chance to breathe and you're just like, okay, I just read that whole paragraph about this service and now I just have a section with a cute little quote or a testimonial or something like that, and it gives my brain a break so I can take a beat and process what I've just read. And these images, they don't tend to have a really clear focal point. They tend to be pretty nondescript. Sometimes they're just texture. If your brand has nature, maybe it's like a close-up macro shot of tree bark or a sky or a forest. If you work in food related, maybe it's ingredients all flat laid across and the photographer just takes a top down like flat lay of like all the ingredients, things like that. So a great background image does not have a subject necessarily. It's more to kind of sit in the background and give depth and give texture. And then we have accent images. So accent images are little extra things that add to the brand. They enhance the overall message and they add personality to the brand and to the website. If you are a Reiki healer and maybe some of your work involves crystals, maybe you have favorite crystals photographed in a little, you arrange them with something and you take a photo of that. And then that's an accent photo that can be used in your website somewhere that gives the flavor of the vibe of what you're doing, but also does it in such a way where there's a little bit of personal connection and it's almost like a personal effect there. And those things really help to personalize the brand and really make your brand stand out and be unique, especially if there are things within your service that you can pull out. And so if it's on the website and you use a particular tool and you have a photo of that tool on your website, or better yet, an action photo of you using the tool, then when people go into your space to work with you, they're going to have that congruency and it's going to help build trust on a subconscious level. Those are all the shots that we'll cover in this video. If you want the detailed shot list, please feel free to sign up for my email list and I will get that sent over to you automatically. So sign up below. The link is in the description. On that note, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know your thoughts in the comment and please share it with someone who is looking to do a recent photo shoot or is looking to revamp their website. If you have any other questions, please let me know. I'll be happy to cover them in future videos. Have a wonderful day. Bye.